All right, here we go. First episode of the Chasing Eight podcast. I am your host, TJ Mullins, here with Ryan Mullins. Just excited to be here and to be able to talk about the Oklahoma Sooners going into the SEC. First time, first year, Team 130, man. I'm excited. How do you feel about it?
Man, what a time to be alive, huh?
I'm
You
so fired
know,
up.
being in the Big 12, you got Kansas, which they're on the up and coming now.
They are.
But,
They are.
back in the day, that's like a horrible team. The Iowa States, the Techs,
Yeah.
I mean, there's just
No.
teams on that schedule that you're not looking forward to,
Well,
you know?
every year they would come out with the Big 12 schedule. I mean, we'd be like, who cares about it? Dude,
Right.
when they came out with the SEC schedule, they did a whole like broadcast on ESPN on the SEC network. I mean, it was like a big deal. And I think that just goes to show you how much more impactful going into the SEC is rather than being in the Big 12.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the professional business. It
It is. It really
almost
is.
NFL caliber with some
Well,
of these teams and business-like mindset.
100%. That's what it is. You know, it's to me, it's kind of like the minor leagues
Right.
of the NFL. That's kind of what I think. I mean, because when you're looking at that SEC as a whole, I mean, top to bottom, bro, it's incredible. You know.
Yeah. I mean, minus
So,
your Vanderbilt. I don't think they're very good, but
well, sure. You know. I
you
mean,
got to keep
honestly,
them
bro.
on for academics.
Okay, we'll do that another time. But what I was gonna say, you put Vandy in the Big 12. I don't know where they're finishing. If I'm just gonna be honest with you, I think
Right.
it could be the top. I mean, it
They're
could
probably
be
middle of the pack, maybe.
middle of the pack, probably middle of the pack, middle of the pack. But yeah, so this is our podcast, first one ever. Chasing Eight. If you don't understand that, University of Oklahoma, 7 natties, 7 national championships on the road to 8, and we're gonna be here every step of the way, chasing 8. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
So what we want to do for this first episode is kind of just go over our expectations for this year, go over a few positions on the team, talk about just general thoughts. So I'm gonna give you the floor, and you give us your thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, expectations for this team, and call me a homer. I mean, I don't care what
Sure,
league we're
I will.
in. Yeah, I'm
Lifetime,
sure a
hey,
lot of people
two
will.
huge lifetime OU fans here, so we'll probably
Right.
get some years along the way for sure.
Hey, it doesn't matter who we're playing. It's the expectation is to get to the college football playoff, which is, I mean, I'm
Absolutely.
not going to say easier now because of this schedule, but because there's more teams getting in, it
Yeah.
seems to be easier.
Yeah.
But that's the goal and always will be the goal. I don't
Yeah.
care, what's happening, who's the coach. The Oklahoma mindset will always be the best. So that's my first expectation is somehow, some way get to the college football playoff. And how that happens is this is going to be a team that's going to have to rely on its defense.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
still have questions on the defense. I know we're in a lot better place than we have been in 10, 15 years. I
Yeah.
fully expect this defense to be top 15, top 10 overall. And we're going to have to be if we want to go to where
Absolutely.
we want to get to.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm just gonna ask you this. So, so you're talking about getting the playoff, and I agree with you. First and foremost, I agree with that point. I'll ask you this: record wise, what's your expectations for this season?
I think 9-3.
9-3.
I think nine and
I
three.
think so too. I do. I think so too. I mean, it sucks. Saying that is weird, right?
Right.
Because you go 9-3 in the Big 12. I mean, somebody's getting fired. I mean, which is
Right.
somebody's getting fired. I don't know who it is, but somebody's going to get fired. if you go
Yeah.
9-3 in the Big. Now, 9-3 for in the SEC first year with this schedule, man, I think it's a hell of a year.
That's a great year.
I mean,
I
I
think we
think
creep in 11 or 12 there.
I think so too. I think so too. I I will agree with you on that. I think 11 or 12 seed go and you go 9-3. I think it's a hell of a year. I think I think that's really what's going to happen this year.
Yeah.
The 9-3. Um, but it's hard for me to say it though. It really is. It's hard for me to say it.
Yeah. But I mean, and it could easily go 5-7. I mean,
I
with
know,
this
dude.
schedule.
That's 100%. And it's so weird just being in this position that we've never been in before. So it's just
Yeah.
it's a good feeling.
It's a great feeling.
It
I
is a
mean, it's
great
a
feeling
weird feeling, but it's a great feeling
for sure.
to
Absolutely.
be in this situation. But this is going to have to be a team that relies on the defense. And like I said before, I still have questions on the defense, and we're
And
not
we'll
going to
get
get
there.
into that side of the
Well, we'll get
ball
there.
today
We'll
this
get
time. But
But
there's
we'll get
still
there.
question marks on the defense. But
Absolutely.
let's go to the offense. And
Okay.
here's my take. This is going to be a good offense. Is it a good offense right now? Probably not, but we haven't seen any. They haven't played a game yet. While we're hearing our reports and a certain radio host, you know, I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't know who his sources are,
For sure.
but I don't believe a second anything that was said. So, I mean, Jackson Arnold, he played in one game, like started and played a full one game last year. Had 2 interceptions in his first 8 passes. Okay, it's your first start in a bowl game, right?
Yeah.
Nerves, probably jitters, all the above. And then after that, he played a hell of a football game. I mean, we
Yeah.
were down, 13, 14 to nothing there after the first quarter, and then scored, 30, 28 points straight. So
Correct.
it's not like we weren't moving the ball or scoring points.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. For sure.
so I fully expect this to be a good offensive football team come Tennessee.
And I agree. I agree with those statements. I mean, I don't. For me, I man, I'm not really worried about Jackson Arnold. Like that. That's the thing. Everybody's worried about it. They're hearing the reports coming out of fall camp talking about, you know, 2 interception, a fumble, whatever, pick six, whatever you want to say. I'm not worried about it. The dude. Let's not forget the dude is still young. Okay. He's. I mean, not started one game. At the University of Oklahoma. To me, I think it's a bigger picture thing. They let a guy who is now the Heisman Trophy front runner, they let him walk. For this guy, they handed it to this guy. Okay. So what I'm saying is I'm putting my trust in the head football coach of the University of Oklahoma that he is going to make the right decision for this program moving forward. And I think it's Jackson Arnold. Now, I'm not going to say that he's not going to have ups and downs. Dude, he's a first year starting quarterback going into the SEC. He's going to have ups and downs. I mean, it's part of the process of becoming a phenomenal and great quarterback. I mean, every quarterback will have their ups and downs. For me and this team, I think the offense is going to be centered around the run game because of the duo that we're going to have in the backfield. I think they're going to be special.
Yeah, yeah, I do too. I think it starts with the run, and I think this offensive line. I think me and you both have 5 guys that we think are going to start.
Yeah.
Now we'll see what they eventually end up with. Probably game 3 or 4, rolling into the
Yep.
Tennessee game. I'm sure they'll have it set. Billy will have it set by then, but I figure we'll see multiple lineups the first 3 games. But I think me and you both have 5 guys that we've talked
Yeah,
about that are going to be the
yeah,
starting
absolutely.
5. And if it is those 5, they like to run the football. They are
Uh,
very good at blocking for the run.
they're the
So,
Maulers. They're the Maulers,
yeah,
baby.
they're
Yep.
big in there.
They're big in there. Yeah, the
Yeah,
right guard being 340 pounds. Run behind
yeah.
that guy. Okay. Run
Let's follow him.
Yeah, let's follow that guy.
Yeah,
So, and that leads me to, another aspect of this offense and this team in general that is, because a lot of this team is brand new. And we're just going to be honest with you. There's a lot of question marks. Seth Luttrell and Joe John, they've, they've been around the program a while. Joe John has, Seth Luttrell came in as an analyst and did a good job, but first year OCs going into the SEC. Okay. What I am fully expecting 100%, the first play of this year will not be a jet sweep. Okay. And if it is a jet sweep, let me tell you something. Get your ass out of town. You're already fired. Okay. Don't play with me. Okay. Because, if it happens again, I will be upset. Okay. That's point number one. Point number two, I like what they do. I think they're going to be a good combination together. And I think they're just going to center around the run. I think they're going to, establish the run game early and then just let, JFA just let that thing eat. Because, dude, we got playmakers at the wide receiver position that can
yeah,
take the off, you know.
absolutely.
So,
That
just
position is absolutely loaded.
loaded. Yeah.
Um, you
Just
feel
absolutely
good
loaded.
about what 4 or 5 guys there.
Yeah.
It sucks. Gibb went out. I hate that
Yep.
for him. He was definitely going to be part of that rotation, starting rotation. But hey, that's a chance for JJ Hester, who's been part of this program for a couple years now, or
Mhm.
long. 3 years or however long he's been there.
Yep.
So opportunity for him to step up and make plays. He's got the same, not as tall as Gibb, but
But
big,
he's thicker,
big.
though.
Yeah, he's a big body guy. So
And I will say
opportunity's gonna.
another thing with JJ Hester is he's already started at an SEC school, at a
Right.
school that is on the schedule. So he's got that SEC experience, and I think that's a huge benefit.
Absolutely.
So
I think
I
another
think
benefit. Yeah, I think another benefit going back to those 2 OCs, they're going into the SEC, right? First year OCs, but the defensive coordinators don't have what film are they going to watch? They'd have to go back to North Texas for Luttrell, and Joe John. I don't know. I don't think he's ever been an OC or
Nope.
any way been a part of play calling besides here.
Yep.
Yeah. So defensive coordinators are going to have to go off these first couple games, which, like we've talked about, we won't be showing anything,
Nothing.
I'm sure.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
first, those non-con games will be, vanilla as possible.
Right. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just That's a good point. And, I feel like people don't talk about that is, going to the SEC when they open up against Tennessee, they're really not going to have nothing to go off of
Right.
other than, going back to Luttrell when he was at, like you said, North Texas. And so I like it. I like where we're at as the program, moves forward into this first year. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, expectations always for me. Now, I am also a realistic, and realistically, I think this team could make it to the playoffs. Like I said, it starts with the defense. From all 3 sides of the defense are going to be on paper probably one of the best in the SEC. You take away the play time and just pull out the pieces of paper and look at size and experience. I would take OU's D over just near everyone in the SEC
I agree.
based on experience. I mean,
Correct. No, I definitely agree with that. Bringing in Dominique Williams, it changed. I can't even put into words how much it changed, man. If we did not get Dominique Williams, I think we're talking about the defense a lot different. Just that's just
right.
how I feel about it.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, it was a game changer.
do you want to dive into the O line a little bit more and kind of just
Yeah.
break down those
Yep.
positions? Because you know, well, and we can start with left tackle. Just kind of what we're hearing. Michael Tarquin will probably be the starting left tackle. And I
Yeah.
don't have any. I don't have any problem with that. The dude, he's like a fifth, 6th year guy. Dude played. He's already started 4 in SEC school. Played every position on the line. So he's got all the experience. I like the experience, bro. Going into the first year of the SEC, I think you want to have as many old dudes as possible.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think we both knew he would probably find a spot. We didn't know,
Right.
where. It was depending on the other guys.
For
But yeah,
sure.
it's seeming like left tackle is probably going to be where he ends up. And he's probably the most experienced out of everybody on the line. And that's probably where you would want the most experienced guy protecting your quarterback's blind side. So, I mean, and he's a brawler, man. He likes to get
Hmm.
nasty. I
He
mean,
does, and I like
so
that. I like that.
yeah, you want that
And
out of
so
your left tackle.
I'll say it's a testament to Jacob Sexton, though. It is. It's a
It really
testament to
is.
Jacob Sexton that he is able
Yeah,
to move inside because that's who we think will probably be on the guard spot on the left side.
well,
And
not
I
just
mean,
move inside, right, but move complete sides. I
exactly,
had him like earlier starting at
early,
right tackle.
exactly.
So
Yep, and because that's where he was. That's where he was playing last year. He was
right,
playing right tackle. And I think that really is a testament to how good of a player he is because I think he's probably our best offensive lineman that we have on the roster
yeah,
right now. And you want your best one to be the left tackle. That's what you want. But to get our 5 best guys on the field at the same
right,
time, I think him moving inside to that left guard position is going to be best for the team. So
absolutely, I agree, and that makes that middle of the line very nasty.
yeah, oh yeah,
You
it does.
got
And there's
Hickman,
a bunch of guys going for that spot too. That back you
right?
up that are very good players.
Yeah, I'm hearing Brooks has really taken the next step and looking very, very good. He shedded like 50 pounds. So,
Yeah,
uh, yeah, I'm hearing he's looking really good as well.
and Eddie Pierre Louis, EPL,
Yeah,
the other
yep.
person.
You got a
So
guy that big running that fast.
yeah, that just
Hey, hand him the
equal.
ball. Put him in the
That's what I'm
backfield, baby.
saying, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, listen, I like that. I don't think
Yeah.
they'll do it, but I like it though. I like where your head's at.
Hey, throw it to run a freaking sweep with him. Toss it to
I
him. Let him
like
get some
that.
speed,
Let him
baby.
run over somebody, man. Just fire me up.
Yeah,
No, okay, so that's who we kind of have on the left side. We got
yeah.
Parkland.
Which, if it is those two, you feel very confident with
I
your
like
most experience and probably your best,
Yeah, I like it.
right?
I don't have any problems with that at all. I
Yeah,
think the position that we're about to cover right now, it going into fall camp, I think everybody kind of thought it was a lock. But then you're
yeah,
hearing all these
absolutely.
reports coming out that it's really not. It's actually a huge question mark. So and one that needs to get addressed, hopefully pretty quick.
Well, there's questions out there because how Coach V talks about Bates and how he's constantly, you know, bringing him up and giving him credit. Um, so that's why there's questions. I
Is
don't
it
know. I
is
don't
it
know.
a kick
I
in the
hope.
ass for Hickman, or is it just he really likes Josh Bates?
Right. I think he really likes Josh Bates.
I think so
And
too.
because he shows up and works hard
Yeah,
every day. Any
yeah,
coach is going to like that and going to bring that up and give that guy credit. But that does not mean you're the starter, son.
exactly. Let's make sure that is understood. That does not mean he's a starter.
But
Even
the
though
work
that
ethic is very much needed.
right, it is. And who's to say that Troy Everett doesn't come back and just you know fight
Yeah,
for? Who's to say that? Because he started practicing again, so he's fighting for it just like the other two.
Yeah. If I was a betting man, I would put almost all in on Hickman
Yeah, me too.
to
I
be
would as
the
well.
starter.
It goes right back to what we were just talking about with Tarquin, the experience. I mean,
Right.
he started, I think, 3 years at SMU as being the starting center. That's just something you can't take away from somebody,
Right.
especially
Yep.
going into the conference you're about to go into. So,
And not
um,
just started, but excelled. I mean, he
oh yeah,
was,
he's one of the best.
one of the best centers, not only in that conference, but in NCAA.
I mean, when he came out and entered the portal, I mean,
Yeah.
he was a hot commodity in the portal. So, I mean, to get his commitment was a big deal, especially after
I
Trey
I
Edmonds
would
went
I
down.
was going to say I would even say I would put that up there with Dom Williams.
Oh yeah,
Getting Hickman almost. I think Dom Williams may be a little more impactful,
mm-hmm.
maybe, but I mean, not much.
Yeah,
Hickman being that centerpiece in the middle of that line, being able to call out designs and blitzes and direct that offensive line, that's huge, and it was a big get for us.
it was. I agree with that, 100%. And then moving over to the right guard spot, it's pretty much a lock. I don't even know if we need to
It's
talk
a
about it.
lot, man.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to talk about it. Fabechi Wewu is I think he's that dude, man. I
He
think he's
may
that.
be our best by the end of the season.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I think he's that dude. To be 340 pounds and he looks like 315, 320.
Yeah,
I don't know how he's 340. It's
right.
honestly crazy.
How
So
he explodes off the ball is he's
I don't know. It's kind of it's
he'll
kind of
catch eyes for sure.
yeah. Oh yeah. There's no doubt. And so I mean I don't know who's going to back him up. That's kind of the question mark right now for that position. I think.
Well, that's the question mark for every position on the
Right.
besides center. You feel pretty good about Bates, and then when Everett comes back, the center
Yeah.
position, I think I feel pretty good about the center position. But every other offensive line position, if anybody goes down, we're
We're in
looking at
trouble.
a
We're in
we're
trouble.
looking at a drop off. Now, how big of a drop off?
Well,
We'll
because
see.
those freshmen will probably have to be. They'll have to be there. I'm
Right.
assuming. Because
Yeah.
we did get that the transfer from Michigan State, Spencer
Yeah.
Brown,
Mm-hmm.
who I I think he'll probably be the backup at right tackle, um, behind Jake Taylor. So
Yeah.
we'll transition there. We'll just go there now. So yeah, so we both have Jake Taylor starting at the right tackle position. Who he's been in the program a long time.
Right.
To me, it is kind of worrisome that he's been in the program, 3 years now, and he's not really made, an impact up to this point. But, if he's our best option, I trust Bill. So that's all I'm going to say. I trust him to make the right decision. Because I do think Spencer Brown's got like 42 games started
Right.
at
And
Michigan
you love
State.
that too.
That's exactly.
Yeah. But here's the deal about Jake Taylor is who was he going to start for last year?
Right.
I mean, you have an offensive line that, two of them got drafted?
Yeah. One was a first round pick.
First round pick. So he hasn't made an impact yet, but it's like, well, that's just because he was waiting his time because people in front of him were that good, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
And I think watching him at the spring game and hearing about him, he's really put in the work and looks really good on that right side.
Yeah, he does. So I think we both are on the same page that when it comes to the starting five, I think we like it, and
Yeah.
I think their strength is absolutely the run game.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to run the ball really well this year. I really do, and I think it's going to be probably other than the defense. I think it's going to be one of the strengths of the teams.
Absolutely. And to cap off the offensive line, we have 2 tight ends, 3, give or take, but definitely 2 that I'm hearing Bowers loves to block. So put him on the line and
Yep.
let him block for you too.
Well, yeah, because the two that we got, I mean, they're just solid. They're solid, man.
Yeah.
You know, the one that really stands out to me on paper is Caden Helms, just because of
Yeah.
how he's he's huge. Number one,
Right.
Number two, I just think he's different than Jake Robertson, Bauer Sharp. He's just a different player. Um, I don't think
100%.
I don't think I think they're going to play him more kind of how Mark Andrews played. In the slot, let him run routes. For Bauer Sharp, and they might. Bauer Sharp might get some slot time, but I think he's going to be more inline.
And I apologize. I said Bowers. It's Bowers Sharp. Don't come for me in the chat.
Dude,
Dang, my bad.
Fired up, dude.
Hey,
It'll happen.
names. Don't come
Right.
at me for names. I know numbers. But no, I 100% agree. Yeah, Helms is more of that route running, pass catching type tight end, where the other two now Bowers Sharp
They
can
both
run
can do
some
it.
routes. Yeah,
Right.
but he's definitely right now, I think, more physical. Both of those guys are more physical than Caden
Yeah.
Helms.
And you just don't know how he's going to bounce back. I think he's had 2 knee surgeries. At this
Right.
point. I mean, you hope he stays healthy, and you hope he is, the player that he was before. But, luckily, and then that could be an argument for Bauer Sharp that he's one of the best pickups that
Right.
game changer for this team. Because
Yeah.
last year,
Yeah.
tight end position was
Non-existent.
it was tough. It was tough to watch at times. And Stogg did his best, but Levy did not do anything for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but no offense to Stogg, the man was slower than. I mean,
Sure.
it took him 10 minutes getting open.
Yeah.
Now, in his defense, he could use his big body, and he did that quite a bit to block the defensive back coming around and catch it out here. That's how he caught a lot of his balls.
Yeah.
But he wasn't breaking away from anybody.
No, that's if you think that was going to happen when he committed, I think you were kind of crazy, bro. If I'm gonna be honest with you. But what I think this year it's going to look like was BV's first year with Braden Willis, because I think from kind of what I've been hearing is that Bauer Sharp kind of fits that mold. He's not afraid to block, which Braden Willis was a phenomenal blocker. But if you ask him to go run a route and get open, he could do that too. And he could absolutely get open. He get space from a DB.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's going to be another like you said, another vital piece of this puzzle that last year we didn't have. Last year we didn't have the Dom Williams in the middle. Dejon Terry did his best, but I mean, and not to put Dejon Terry down, I'm glad we still have him. I'm glad he came back because he's going to be another vital piece, but we didn't have that Dom Williams type of guy. And then the center last year, I mean, who was it
Rain?
Yeah. He was okay. But nothing to write home about,
Yeah, for sure.
We expect Hickman to be a full step, 2 step, 3 steps ahead of him. Better than him.
I agree with that. And if you're just talking about the offense, and that's kind of what we wanted to, center on today in our first, podcast, was talk about the offense, because I really liked what Gabe Eichert said the other day on the breakdown when he was talking about, this offense, it's going to be good. Now, is it going to be what we've come to expect from the University of Oklahoma? I don't know. There's so many question marks that I don't know what it's going to look like. But we have to find a way to complement the defense, because that is going to be the strength of the team, and that the defense will take us far, and we'll be in every game probably. It'll probably be a 1-score game just because of the defense. So it's just what can Seth Luttrell and Joe Job Finley do with this offense to make it running as efficient as possible, in my opinion.
Yeah, right. Which starts with running the ball.
I
So that'll be the first deal. And I don't know. I don't have any. The only question marks I think anybody has about this offense. Well, okay, two. One, offensive line. But you have one of the best offensive line coaches in the country.
Yep.
So I fully expect our offensive line to be dominant at some point in the season. That's just what we've come to expect watching Billy's. He's had to make shift and move people around and come up with something on the fly so many times that we kind of just come to expect offensive line will be okay,
Mhm.
you know. And then the second question is Jackson Arnold. I mean,
Yep.
for most people, not for me. I look now, decision making, he's got to get better. And that's why you have a Casey Thompson behind him
Mhm.
that has played a lot of football in a lot of different conferences, seen a lot of different looks, goes through his I mean, you hear about him going through his reads faster than anybody.
Mhm.
And that's in all the D1 football. So I'm not real worried about Jackson Arnold just because look at the wide receiver core. If they double Burks, you got Nick Anderson.
Mhm.
Well, if they try to do zone and spy both of them, you have Andrel Anthony coming back. You got Farouk. I mean, they're not going to be able to key in on one specific guy. You know what I mean? So
Oh, yeah.
all Jackson's got to do is make the right reach. Somebody's going to be open.
Yep.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree.
I fully expect him to do that. So this offense will be good. That's why I think people are sleeping on us just because of those big questions, which they're two big questions, O-line, first-year starting quarterback.
Yep.
But I think they're failing to look at what's around them in skill positions.
Yeah.
I mean, wide receivers loaded. Running back, yeah, we have a two-man punch. I'm not real sold. I know we hear he's back and he's looking good, but we hear that every year about somebody. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
great to hear, but it doesn't mean nothing until we see him.
Oh, yeah.
So until I see Javonte Barnes break the one for 60, running over people and cutting like he was with freshman year,
Yep.
I'm going to have a question mark above him. But what I will say is this Taylor Tatum,
Yeah.
he's got that natural lean, natural burst, natural vision, catches the ball out of the backfield. I wouldn't be surprised if he surpasses Barnes, if Barnes doesn't take advantage of his opportunity later in the season.
The running back position it's so crowded. I don't understand how DeMarco I don't know how he's going to be able to make those decisions in game, right?
Right.
Because you know who the first two are that are going to be running out there. You know that it'll be Barnes and Sacha. Now after that, I mean, you've been hearing about Caleb Hicks. You've been hearing about Tatum. You've been hearing about Xavier Robinson. I mean,
the dude from
Sam Franklin.
Yeah.
UT Martin, Sam Franklin. So it's crowded, man. And that's really, it's the running back and wide receivers. I mean, there's so much talent there that
loaded,
and it's like, I mean, because on the wide receiver position is Brandon Thompson,
Brandon Thompson. Don't forget about Jaquez Petaway. That man can run. I mean,
and they're saying dude. I've been hearing about this Zion Raggins. He's like 5'8", but he might be the fastest on the team. He just fly. So it's like there's speed, there's length at the wide receiver position. I mean, running backs, you got every possible. You got dudes that can run people over. You got dudes that can make the cut. You got dudes that can do both. It's kind of a crazy dynamic that DeMarco and Emma Jones are going to have to make.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's probably based on gameplay and how everybody's running. But that's what I'm saying. Where the only questions, and they're not weaknesses. I don't expect this offensive line to be weakness of this offense. I do not. Now, I understand going to the SEC, we're not facing Texas Tech defensive line anymore. You know what I mean? We're not facing we're facing a different caliber athlete.
Well, yeah, when LSU come walking up in here,
Tennessee,
or Tennessee, they
that
come walking.
dog coming off the end there.
Yeah,
Somebody better be ready.
That's all I'm saying. Listen, the non-con games, I like the slate that we have this year because I think they're all of them are should be wins for sure, but I don't think they're just like gimmies.
Right.
There's a couple in there. Don't get me wrong, but then there's a couple that are like Houston and Tulane. To me, those are perfect because they're gonna be getting us ready to go full steam into Tennessee. So
Absolutely. Tulane is a great football team.
Houston, Houston will be
Yeah, Houston will be good. I know they got that coach from Tulane. They'll be good, I think, in a year or two. I'm not saying they won't be good this year,
right.
but
Yeah,
yeah, any like BV coming into OU had to probably have a year like that, a 7-6 or something like that. But then the following years, I fully expect that coach to. Is it Phil?
dang. I
Phil,
had.
the
I just.
Tulane coach. It's Phil.
I'm just blanking on her now.
Yeah. Anyway, I
He's a hell
fully
of a coach,
expect
though.
he
He
is
about came in at Norman
a
uh,
couple years
a
ago. Hmm.
couple years ago and derailed the season before it even got started.
Right.
Yeah. Here's what I wanted to run this by you today. So I was talking about this yesterday, and I was like, listen, you're looking at the schedule, and you're thinking it's no doubt tough. No doubt it's gonna be brutal. But what I was saying yesterday was there's going to be a game on the schedule that we're all talking about that it's probably going to be a loss, right? There's a game that will be a lot easier than expected, or I say easier, but it'll be a win, and then flipped. There'll be a game where we're thinking like this should be a win, where we'll probably go out, lay an egg, probably take a loss.
Right.
Okay. To me, I'm saying everybody's expecting us to lose at Ole Miss. I do not think they're a good team. Now, they bought all those players, they got good talent, whatever. First off, I don't believe in Lane Kiffin as a coach. That's just me. So I think we beat Ole Miss. Okay. Now, here we go on the flip side, right? What team or what game do we think we win, but it turns out that this team's a lot better than we expected them to be?
Uh, I mean, depending on who you talk to, because a lot of people have us like losing the Missouri game, but I can see Missouri being that. OU's mind frame is we've owned Missouri for, you know,
I can't get behind that either. That is a team that I have to see it first.
right.
I
And
could be
I do
wrong.
too. I just like that quarterback they have. He's mobile.
I
And he
could be wrong.
seems throw the
Yeah,
ball well. Their defense is going to be good. Luther Burden is just
he's
phenomenal.
phenomenal.
I mean,
He's incredible.
yeah. So I expect them to be good, but I think OU's mind frame is, like I said, we've owned Missouri,
I
and
know
we're
we
just
will,
going to go in there and just stomp them in the.
and
But I
that's where
think
I'm.
that could. That's where, yeah, that's where your mind frame is. I think that game could be a little tricky for us.
Yeah, for me, it's
Depending on how the season's going.
hmm, mine's Auburn. I think
Yeah,
that's gonna be a game that first first true road SEC game.
yeah,
Everybody talks about how tough it's like one of the, if not the toughest place to play in the country, one of the toughest places to play in the country. I think they're going to be sneaky, man. I don't know. I'm
yeah,
almost about it.
yeah. And I can't wait. I'll be there at that game. I can't
I
wait to
yeah.
get in that stadium and hear that. But and then maybe I'm not worried about that game because of their quarterback situation. I
That's
just
true.
don't think. I think our defense. If we're 4-0 going into that, I
Yeah,
don't see us. I think we have confidence. I think, and we're healthy. We got to be healthy.
hmm,
But I do think our defense wins us that one.
yeah,
We get in his head, we hit him, we blitz him, we put pressure on him,
yeah.
and he makes mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. I agree with you on that part of it.
But I agree with you where maybe we're not. Maybe they will be a little sneaky. Maybe the kid plays phenomenal.
That whatever,
You
man.
know, and
You go
that
on the road.
environment is,
You're right.
yeah, it's
That's
just
and
rocking
then
and
and then you got to go on the road to Death Valley. I mean, I don't know.
that is a tough one.
That's a tough one. That is. I mean, I don't know how they're gonna be. You know, they're
Yeah,
losing a Heisman Trophy quarterback now. I think they got another 5-star backing him up, but
yeah, but we know. OU knows stars mean nothing.
exactly.
You know,
Yep. So that's what I'm saying. Obviously the environment is just going to be insane, but I
right?
don't know how good they are actually going to be as a team. So that's my only hiccup with that game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think another one that I think people are pretty much guaranteeing us to lose to Alabama, and I don't know about it. You
That's
know,
hey, that's another one that I had marked up behind Auburn. I got Bama as a game that like people are just chalking it up.
yeah,
It's
in Norman, it's going to be
in Norman.
wild.
And that's another team, man. Now their roster is stupid. Them and Georgia are just
Yeah,
their roster is stupid. But
their secondary is questionable,
yeah,
like it was last year.
losing Caleb is just it's
yeah,
gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
right.
But I that's one where I mean I'm gonna have to see how they operate under their new head coach, and I want to see how how he's kind of different. I mean, because it's not going to be the Nick Saban Alabama squad. You know,
No,
it's just not going to be. It's not going to be who runs in the Norman.
no,
They could very well easily still be like one of the best teams in the country. I'm not saying that
they will be.
they will be 100%. But I just coming into Norman. I mean, I just don't know, man. I'm gonna have to
Are
see it
people not? Are people thinking that playing in Norman is not as hard as some of these other places?
100%.
You know, they're
And
they're
we've experienced this firsthand. We won't get into that, saying,
yeah,
but we have actually experienced this firsthand. That it's just it. Okay, I think the fan base that for OU, we're very passionate, but I just the atmosphere at the games is not what some of these other schools are, and I mean that's just what it is. What it is, it is what it is. You know.
yeah, very traditional.
It is. It's very traditional, and I think we could get there at one point. I mean,
Yeah,
it's going to
what
take time. It's going to take some time.
what we're meaning is there's people that continue to go to the games that may be in their prime were very good, OU fans and would scream, cheer, and holler. But now there's sections, and you could probably see it on TV if you really look. But actually being in the game, it's easy to see the sections that are they're maybe a little older and they very rarely stand up or clap or cheer or they're just there to watch the game, right?
Which is fine.
Yeah, they're probably season ticket holders, been for a long time,
Years, but
but we
it's
need
kind
the
of
type of atmosphere, right? The type of atmosphere that gets in opponents' heads and deafening to a degree,
yeah, yeah. Because I can promise you, you go to Ole Miss, they will not. You go to Death Valley,
Yeah,
I mean, I can't even. It. I wish I could go. I don't even know if we can go. I mean, tickets might be sold out already. I mean, I'll have to
right,
look a little bit. That's a dream, though. I've always wanted to go. I've always wanted to go to LSU game just because of the environment that
right.
they play in. It's like it's it would be a dream, you know, and
Absolutely.
that's what I want to get. That's what I want OU to get to one day. Is just like that. There's a team that they see OU on the schedule. They're thinking
That's a
this
struggle.
this ain't gonna be fun
Yeah,
because that's how we're looking at LSU. That's how we're looking at Ole Miss. So we're
Mhm.
looking at Auburn. This
Mhm.
ain't gonna be a good time.
Right. It's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough, and that's what I want OU to get to,
Right.
that environment.
Absolutely. It's not like it's bad or
No,
nothing,
it's no, I'm not saying that at all.
but
I'm
it's
not.
not on their level.
No, it's not, and you know, it is what it is. I mean, you gotta just gotta call it how it is. You call it as call it as you see it, and we're behind them. We're lacking right now,
Right.
and it could change easily. It could change,
Absolutely.
but so as we're coming down, we'll start wrapping this thing up. Expectations. You got 9-3, right?
Yep.
Okay. I have. I'll go 10-2.
Wow.
I'll go 10-2. Is that insane? I think it is. But I'd rather hold, have a higher standard and be disappointed than like, I don't, maybe not. I'll go 8-4 actually. I'll set the bar low. No, I'm going to set the bar low. And then if I'm surprised, then I'm happy, you know,
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 8-4 as my expectation. Um, I think we lose, I think we lose to Auburn. I think we lose to, man,
You can say it. Sorry.
no, dude, I don't want to, but I my thing with Texas, dude, is I don't think Quinn Ewers is a good quarterback. So I I don't know. I mean, I'm not even gonna go down that rabbit hole because it'll be bad. But
They're in
I
big trouble with
got
their running
8-4.
backs. That's
I
really
got
going to
eight
hurt
and
them.
four. You got 9-3, and I think if we go 9-3, we get the playoff.
Yeah, I think so. There's going to be a lot of quality wins there, and especially if you win one or two of those games on the road, like we talked about. Those teams will be top 15, top 10 most of the year.
Oh,
Missouri plays nobody.
so,
I
I
mean,
mean, throw them a
yeah.
bone.
So yeah. But yeah, so they'll be a top 10 team, probably go beat them. Ole Miss will be a top 10 team. LSU has a chance to be up there. So
South
yeah,
Carolina.
yeah, they're not very good.
That's
I
right. I
don't
got
believe
them as a
it.
10, baby. I think that is a win for sure. I got South
It
Carolina
better
as a
be.
win for sure.
Yeah.
And that'll be cool, dude. And they're not only are we going to see for the first time, but there's a lot of like intertwined stories, like Shane Beamer coming back to Norman, Hype
Heupel.
coming back to Norman.
Yeah.
Um, there's just a lot of like secondary storylines that'll be pretty cool to watch this year.
Absolutely.
But
100%. It'll be fun.
so
I'm
I'm
jacked
fired up.
up.
Yeah.
Guess what? We have football this weekend, baby.
We have football this weekend.
Get to watch Florida State. I'm not a believer in them at all.
Where are they
So
ranked out now?
10.
Are they 10? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew
Yeah.
they
I
were
do
high.
not.
I didn't know exactly where they were at though.
Yeah. I'm not a believer in them, but we'll see.
We'll see though. I mean, for a team to go undefeated in the Power Five and not get into the
Yeah, that's
playoff
crazy.
says something for sure. It says
Yeah, and like everyone says, it's all about the team. Well, obviously not. It
obviously
was
not.
about one guy.
Exactly. He went down and they're like, man, they're out. We can't let these bums in the playoff.
You're right, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really fun to see how it plays out this year. But so yeah, this we'll do weekly podcast. Definitely one after on Sundays. Recapping the game. Maybe one during the week, talking about kind of just the entire landscape of college football, kind of the week coming up and stuff. And um, so we appreciate y'all tuning in. And Ryan, you got anything you want to add at the end of this?
Yeah, just happy and super excited. We're about week and a half away for OU football, baby. Boomer.
Let's do it. Boomer. Yep. Let's do it. And I think it'll be a great year, man. So uh, we'll wrap this thing up, and we'll talk to you here pretty soon.